Yeah.
Yeah, I'm using. Give me 1 second. I'm using this platform for the first time, the one that I am right now. So, all right. So, audio good? Can you guys hear me? Okay. Yeah, you should be able to. Yes, you can hear me, Monkey. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Couple technical problems as usual. As I'm learning how to use this thing. So ready to rock and roll. So welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me and being here today. Gonna talk a little bit about a couple more things about the app and a few others that I wanna discuss about how to use it, how to read it, and confusion some people have. Probably some of them are less experienced in trading, but it's all good. Like some concepts, some words, some things that need to be said from the get go if you're trying to use the app for the first time. So if you have questions, I'm reading your comments. You can fire that too. So the first thing that I want to talk about is like is probably one of the most important ones, and is that most signal apps that you can find there, or subscriptions, or discords, or anyone offering signals, they're going to tell you when to buy, but none of them, almost never any of them, will tell you when not to buy. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because understanding that one little difference can completely change how you think about this entire category. So as you know, I'm Joe. I've been calling cycles from Cryptosis since 2016, 10 years, a public record, no edits, all the time, all on the timeline. So you know me, founder of IKAGI Academy, creator of the Waves and Particle System, trading system, and now the app here, QUMO, which is an extension of that. So QUMO is basically the trading desk that we built to operationalize that decade of work. We opened it to the public today, the 26th, 6 days ago. And today, three things that I want to talk about. First is the difference between a signal call and an awareness call. That was brought to me earlier today, this morning, because a person had a question on that in particular. Second, it's why QUMO is not a signal service. And the disclaimer that I owe you about that is that this tool does and doesn't do. We need to explain that in depth. And third, and this is a part that I really want you to stay for, it's I'm going to talk a little bit about the new tool that I updated a couple days ago, which is a YCOF, um, and the methodology that runs underneath everything, and how we coded basically 100-year-old framework to the markets. We actually have it now in the app. So let's get to it. Give me 1 second, please. I have some noise here, but it's just something small. Okay. So this is what everything signal service in this category looks like. Doesn't matter which one you pull up. Doesn't matter what the brand name is. The structure is always the same. A message comes in: buy this at this price, target here, stop loss there. Sometimes they recommend leverage, sometimes they don't. So the trader executes. The channel either celebrates a win or more often goes silent on the loss. And there is no reasoning, there is no context, there's no record of what got skipped, of what got faded, or what got reconsidered. That's why I have always been against signal groups, because the thing is this: every single individual, I'm talking probably about retail, well, yeah, big players too, that goes gets into trading, it's going to have a myriad of conditions, ideas, expectations, experience levels, considerations, personalities, traumas that are going to, no matter what, influence the way you trade. So it's completely impossible to create a way on a signal that literally can fulfill a riskless environment to every single person. It's just impossible. It's not mathematically possible. So, and the problem relies on this principle of trading. People think trading is about prediction. It's about, and you can see it on retail on Twitter every single day. People celebrate a great call that someone forecasted, and people dunk on those that fail, regardless of how much money they made or if they lose or anything. I mean, you can make a prediction and make profit out of it if you are able to turn it around really quick in your process. In the same way, you can make a prediction and it can go the way that you want, and you can still lose money if you don't follow through and you don't have discipline. Because that's the main problem retail has in their mentality, is thinking that prediction equals success. And they're two different things. I mean, I know great analysts that are terrible traders, and I know amazing traders that are terrible analysts. So one doesn't compute to the other one. So I'm just gonna pause here for a second because I have a little bit of a technical problem. My screen is not going out. Okay, my screen is back, and now let me just get the idea again. So yeah, I mean it's all about risk management. It's all about strategy. It's all about having a plan. So each personality, each person, is decision is gonna be based on your reality. And it's as simple as you follow someone on Twitter or on a Discord that you're paying your money for, and that person is gonna say the stop loss is this level. Yeah, it might be an invalidated a level that represents an invalidation for the trend. But you can risk 1% or you can risk 100% of your capital on the same level. So who determines that? You don't determine that. The person determines that. So that's an important distinction, and probably this is more educational than anything else, but I think it's important. Um, it's always the same. So the trader executes, the channel leader, like I said, wins or celebrate the wins or goes hauling at the loss. And in my opinion, yeah, I know because I'm talking. That's why the screen is not moving. So I'm sorry. Let me just, so I have built a little bit here. Let's see what I'm. Yeah, the screen is moving now because I'm not showing anything. It's just, this is just an introduction. So in this case, the trader doesn't learn anything. They just execute as a top, and the most of the time they don't understand, right? If it wins, they don't know why. If it lost, they don't know why. I mean, they got handed a fish. They never learn to fish. So at the same time, the provider doesn't have to be accountable for anything. It's just the win gets a screenshot and the losses get deleted from the chat. There's no performance tab. There's no public record. There's no honest accounting. And the category, the whole crypto signal category has earned every bit of reputation it has because of it. and most of it deserve the skepticism it gets. So this is a signal card in QUMO, for example. Let's go to crypto and let's go to maybe alerts. Ban. This is perfect because that was a question that I got today. Right, so let's see. Yeah, here, ban. You have this card right here. It's awareness, PRSM, 1 day, 17 hours ago. It's a short, and all this, right? So with that being said, I want to walk you through in the same way as the trader sees this. So you get banned here, USDT, and a person asked me on Twitter today, like, we got a signal a long for ban and a short for ban at the same time. So let's look at the dossier for ban. Here we go to ticker and we click ban. And this is exactly what I'm trying to tell you. QUMO is an app that is going to educate you. And it's going to educate you because every single card that you see, every single fire and signal, it's going to have an explanation of why it happened. You got to hear. You have a long 17 hours ago and you have a short 17 hours ago. The thing is, like, as you can see, Reco says it's a trace at top. You can see it right there. So when you click on the card, you see ban USDT appear because price structure and timing are aligned enough to deserve review. Confirmation improve is price continue higher, holds an important level. Invalidation is going to be this. The next thing you need to check is this. You have your levels, you have the risk test if you want to put how much you're buying, how much you're risking, and you have the levels here, entry, target. So this is a setup based on a Reco long, on the tool of Reco, right? That's a signal probably to consider that you can enter a long because you're getting a target and a validation and everything. The second one, which is a short, is an awareness alert. You can see right there. It's a PRSM awareness alert. It says the tracking starts on new railroad scan. It fire a bearish 1 daily setup and validated health. So it's medium. You get here the context is the confluence. The risk is unknown yet. Why? Because it is an awareness alert. Treat it as context until the structure confirmed. So this is what it is. Every single card that you see fired here, it's going to have a deeper explanation. It's going to educate you and what are the conditions that need to happen for this particular asset to move upwards and downwards. So an awareness card like this instance, what it's telling you is that be careful, be aware that there is a possibility that this confirms a bearish pattern. That's why both cards are firing at the same time, because even though it is a long setup for the conditions of the Reco long, there's also an awareness pattern that it might start a bearish move. So that's one of the things that first we need to understand when we are inside the QUMO universe. Every single card that you see is going to have an explanation. It's going to have it's going to have context. It's going to have a deeper view of what the card means, and that is only meant for you to grab and gather that information so you can make an educated decision. So that's what I want you to do, and that's how to use QUMO as an app. Many people think, oh, I get a signal for this card. Let me go long right away. I got another member yesterday. He sent me a message from Telegram. There's this sign. I got a sign for long for this coin, but I'm not sure if I should go in or not. And I'm like, on Telegram. And I said to him, Telegram is just the alert service. On Telegram, once you see the alert service, you just go to the app and you read the entire context of the card that you're looking at. That's what you need to do once you go there, right? You go to waves here, you see that Algo USDT had an awareness card entanglement 2 days ago. And then you just read. QUMO detected context change in algo USDT treated as awareness before looking for a trade plan. It plainly says that there. So this is going to be one of those things that QUMO can be the most powerful tool any crypto trader has if you read and you pay attention to the context and all of the information the application is gathering for you in order to make your decision, or like everything else in trading, it can make your life miserable if you just see this and you go and open a loan just because out of nowhere. It's because remember this, QUMO is a decision layer. You gotta hear, and it's built upon the waves and particle system and the IKAGI Academy. I mean, it's been basically the honing of all of the tools for almost a decade precisely to provide a vessel where you can read, understand, dialogue, have a dialogue with the ticker. You know, you got here the leverage, the open interest, the funding, what for a high conviction file, two-way, heating up, 2 fire rows in the last 30 days, once the top is closed. So, I mean, 30-day behavior, 2 fires. So you get all of the information that you might need in order to make a decision about it. You get Kairos. In Kairos, you get timestamps, you get future dates, you get future levels. I mean, it's a complete desk. So a trader can come, read the information, and make a decision for them. So that's what QUMO is basically. So, and if that's the case, if you get this card, basically what the system is telling you as a trader is this card fired, you may want to skip it. No other signal service writes that. No one. Guarantee. I looked. So the entire business models is built on just you taking trades. I mean, but in this case, QUMO is basically gathering as much data as it can to be honest and have an honest conversation with you. Hey, you know what? This is a potential setup, but it might require stronger confirmation. And then you got scores. You even have scores. For example, if you go to Bitcoin USDT here, it's going to tell you that the overall score for some of the cards, there you go, the score is 60. So it's telling you, I mean, it's an accumulation, it depends on range. In this case, we're going to talk about Wyckoff in a second. You get all of the information, whether it's safe, it's risky, it's the same. When you go into the desk in the morning, you get the brief of the news, the most relevant recent news, and then you get the command center, you get the targets to watch. It's important. BTC context neutral, short tilt. It's telling you exactly whatever it's going on today. It's neutral because it's on a range, but it has a short tilt and it's actually falling because of that. So that's that information. Then you have the concierge telling you even more information. Then you have an alert center. So you have literally, it's like having a quant in your hand. And like I said, you have a toggle here. You can go pro, you can go beginner. You can, like I said, QUMO can be probably the most complete tool for a crypto trader in terms of data, information, metrics, math, and a proven system like the waves and particle system. Or it can be just another place when you try to go and just follow blindly an alert just because you want to make money overnight. It's basically following up the same vicious cycle that most people get into when they're trading. Then I'm just gonna guide you to a little bit of of no no I'm just gonna go to one of the biggest things that I released in the past couple days, which is the Wyckoff tool. So when you go here to the tools, you now get a week with a Y. It's a structure awareness. As you can see, there's an explanation of what this is. It's telling you it tracked 120 coins. 14 of them have a high score. 97 are in accumulation, 23 are in distribution. The last engine fired 9 minutes ago. You can see it on the daily. You can see the regular distribution and the regular accumulation schematic. This is just basically for visuals, but it helps people. However, each card, it's gonna have an estimated place where the price is in terms of Wyckoff. And however, Wyckoff, it's something that I need to talk about a little bit more because again, there's always the education aspect of it. Recently, I got a card here that says distribution, and it was at the bottom. And someone asked me, that doesn't make any sense because distribution only happens at the top. And that was okay because I had distribution here. The thing is, like most people, again, they get into Twitter, they start to see patterns, they start to repeat the ideas, but they don't really study and research them. So distribution can happen at the bottom. The thing is, like, it is not called distribution. It is called redistribution, and it's basically a failed accumulation. So you can see here, basically the most common 6 patterns for Wyckoff, and you can see you have 2 accumulation schematics, then you have 2 distribution schematics, and then you have here a reaccumulation, which is basically a failed distribution. It happens at the top. Most people trade this like this is a distribution, this is a local top, price is going to go down, and then out of nowhere you get a spring and price keeps going. So that's a reaccumulation schematic. The same thing happens at the bottom. So you can have a redistribution schematic at the bottom when you think we are about to end an accumulation, a Wyckoff accumulation schematic like 1 or 2, but then it fails. And then what you end up getting is a redistribution schematic at the bottom. So all of that was study for the past 6 months. I did as many invalidations, code, training for the AI analyst, mathematical variables, and basically this is what we got until today. This is the V1 for the Wyckoff schematic tool. This is unbelievable. I'm telling you, it's something definitely, again, it's giving you information so you can make your decisions. And at the same time, it's giving you education of the things you want to learn or you might want to pay attention to. For example, you see here UMA USDT. Let's go to that chart, UMA USDT. So you go there, let's just do Binance, and you go to the daily. So UMA is telling you here, where is UMA? There you go, UMA. It's telling you accumulation markup, location pending, range forming, confirmation layer, phase D, as you can see, it would be here, phase D, on the markup on the accumulation schematic. Then it tells you strength attempt fresh. Confirmation, wait for the acceptance beyond the range boundary. Invalidation, a clean rejection of the active path invalidates a read. As you can see, it's right here. So basically what it's telling you is that it's probably going to find some sort of bottom in the near term future. As you can see, it cannot be lower than this level right here, because if that happens, then we would be shifting into a redistribution schematic. So just by looking at that and you pay attention to it, obviously one thing is to see that the candles are another story, you know that, but you have a logical now thinking. If you follow Ichimoku like I follow, you know the price under the cloud, it's completely bearish, right? So what I would do is, as you pay attention to what happens, if we hold this level, for example, because it's kind of around, you know, we develop a support there, we know there was resistance before. So if we hold the level, then that means that this price is probably going to go upwards from here, and the accumulation is close to be in it, close to the end. I mean, if we lose those levels now, then obviously there's a very likely scenario that we go down here, we get to a spring right there, or maybe we can go a little bit lower and stuff like that. and then we would be getting into a longer pattern. I will leave the app to give the signal for that, but now you have awareness. Now, even if you don't know Wyckoff at all, now you have awareness here of things that are possible and are likely to happen, and you have explanation. And then what you do is like you pair this with other signals. In that way, you build confluence. For example, if I go here to the dossier or the here, UMA, I can check how many signals. There you go. You got here, UMA again. You see, for example, here the coin glass hyperliquid bilinear engine is telling you there's a long flush risk, 95 out of 100 score. So what that means is like basically what it's going on here is that probably longs are getting flush before the price goes up. So you would not go crazy on a long here because basically you're going to be part of that wave of longs that is getting flush. And that's the confluence that you need to understand, the things you need to have. And then you evaluate the signals. You see, there's not a single signal for this one, just a Wyckoff accumulation suggesting that we might be here. But there are no signals. So you might wait. You don't have to get into it. You can read the heat map, for example, for UMA USDT, and you can see where the big walls are. For example, here on the selling side, on the buying side, you can see that 88, there's a huge, a big wall. So you 88. Yeah, 0.08. 0.0, well, that's way low. Then there, so probably we'll have to look something for here. So 338. And we look for the 38. We can see what's going on there. But that's telling you a lot. So 38 is right there. There's a big one on 33. There's another one at 22. So 33 and 22 is probably 33 is right there. So you know there's a big wall right there waiting for that sweep of the lows so to load. So again, it's just a layer of confluence. That's all there is. And you can read as much as that as you can, or you can just ignore it. So you can see, let's see, for example, there haven't been new alerts in the past day or so, probably because the market is shit. But that I can show you right now recently. Let me see. But we can scavenge. Okay, there you go. This is another one, another cool one. Here on the alerts, you will get this type of cards too. It says imminent. That's why I'm telling you to read, guys. The data is right here. When it says imminent, what that means is like it's very close to firing a signal. So you can get ready. It's 99% completed in terms of the conditions of the app itself. Where was that? There you go. So 23 needs a waiting final trigger confirmation. It's a Phoenix long on the daily. Fed USDT. Let's see what Fetch is telling us. And it makes sense. So you can see right there. You can see right there that it's very bullish. The Chico is out of the QUMO, the price is above the QUMO is turning green. So this is a long no matter how you look at it. This is 100% a long, just by the fact that we were under the QUMO and we got now this trend of purchase here is telling you that this was likely a stop hunt for longs, and this is likely going to continue. So with managing risk accordingly, I mean, this should not trend again below the QUMO if it's going to be real bullish. So probably that's a sensitive place to put a stop loss. I mean, it depends on how much you want to raise or not or whatever. But, and the other thing is, it's using just common logic. This thing has been an accumulation for whatever amount of time since October 2025. So that's basically what 7, 6, 7, 8 months in accumulation. So once it breaks and it moves up here, are you really going to take profit there? Because we're getting a little bit of a correction. I mean, do you think if you get accumulation for long term, I don't want to turn this into TA class because that's not the point of it, but you get the idea. I mean, the thing is that you're writing a trend, and QUMO is precisely giving you the context to understand and pull that off. So back to the app itself. Let me see here. Again, this is something some things that I need to mention because I have it all in my mind, answering questions, but in reality, it's important. Uh, I think it's important to talk about some legal and philosophical language when it comes to the app because I want to be clear about both. Because there's a lot of people in this category that can get cute with their disclaimers, and I don't want to be cute. So QUMO is a research and analysis tool. It is not investment advice in any way. It does not execute trades for you. It does not hold customer funds. Every trade decision is yours. So the risk is yours, the sizing is yours, the timing is yours. That's just not a cover for legal shit. So, but it is important to understand that it's just a statement about what QUMO does and what QUMO doesn't do, which matters for how you use it, which is what I've been telling you since we started the stream. When the system fires a signal, it's telling you that there's a setup that exists according to a defined framework and the theory of waves and particles. Whether you take that trade, how much you risk, when you enter, when you exit, those are decisions that only you can make. It's the same talk that I was having earlier about joining signal groups. So the system is just designed to remind you of that on every single card. That's why every single card is going to have what to check before sizing section. That's why awareness card exists as a separate category. That's why we build performance to show every backtest in full. So the winners and the losers, we know rounding. It's just a clear raw data as it is right there. I mean, you're basically, you cannot outsource trading decisions to a tool. You use the tool to make better decisions when it comes to your money and your trading. So if you're here, if you came here looking for a product that tells you what to buy and when, this isn't it. There are plenty of those in this market and you can find them in 5 seconds. If you came here looking for a tool that helps you read the market clearly, teaches you and gives you the reasoning behind every setup and respect your role as the one making the call, then the QUMO is for you. I guarantee you is the most complete platform and tool out there. It's just so complete that I'm trading every single day and I don't get the time to read all of the information that I get from it. Actually, I just got this question. He's saying that he's using the free version of QUMO and it's great, although it's hard a little bit to understand all of the data that it pulls out. So if you get a little bit overwhelmed by all of the data, you simply go to beginner and just toggle that button right there on your mobile app or the web or the desktop app, and the cards are going to be far more simpler. There's going to be less data, but either way, they're going to be explained. Every single card is going to tell you why this signal appeared, why, what confirms, what invalidates it, and what to check next. Why it can work, what breaks it. Is it too late to go into this trade? Timing check is acceptable. Entry is not flagged as badly stretched. So you get a score calibration, the quality of the card, the context, the agreement, the timing. You get everything that you may need, and the confluence rate, reason opposing pressure detectors, friction on record awareness, PRSM. You can open the liquidity map. The leverage is clean, 99 out of 100, which is a great context. Squeeze building, funding clean, new longs entering. So it's everything you might need for such kind of trade. So now, what else do I have here? Any questions? Like the mojo here on my notes to see what I need to talk about it with. So, Yeah, that's. I think I covered that because I wanted to talk on this stream in particular today about the difference between having a signal card and an awareness card. I wanted also to talk about um, the Wyckoff, the new Wyckoff tool, which is, in my opinion, amazing. The data, it's unbelievable. Mm, you can see here, it's pretty soon. I'm still working on the engine and the desk but pretty soon we're gonna have the stocks here. Um, on crypto. What else do we have here? Um, because I pretty much went through all of the tools last week, so there hasn't been any more. I gave decision book here, kind of twin entanglement, the kernel, the regimen, the solar pulse. Yeah, everything is yeah, pretty much any what I said recently on the last stream. So, no questions? Are we clear? Are we cool? It seems to me that it's pretty straightforward. How many people are watching us right now? I don't know. 152? I think. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Um yeah, so I guess let me see. Maybe my console is disconnected. I don't think so, but let's double check. Yeah, comments are there. Everything is good. I guess you guys are all clear on what QUMO is, the latest tools. I now, oh, today someone asked me like I forgot my password and there's no link to recover the password, so I updated that today. Now you can reset your password if you forget about it. The engine, so Angel, you can check the engine heal, the health of the engine on the tool section. You go to Cron Health, and that's gonna tell you every single thing about the readings, about the latest cards, um, the latest cards that were positive and were successful. Um, but the engine runs every hour. Every hour it scans the entire market so we can get. But the signals and the cards are on the daily and the weekly. So to be honest, the fact that the crown runs every hour is a little bit excessive because what we care about is for the daily candle close or the weekly candle close. But yeah, maybe I bring that down to maybe 4 times a day or something like that. But as it is right now, it's running every single hour. White background, please. My eyes who are reading all the data. Yes. It's probably something that is coming soon. But not yet. That's going to require an entire architecture redesign on the app, and I think I need to work a little bit first on the making sure that all of the tools and everything is running perfectly before I go deeper into that. But yes, that's something a couple people ask me about, like about having a white or light background. So it's definitely it's been there in my post-it notes on my desktop to work on that. So suggestions on how to use the app. So every morning you wake up, you want to trade, you want to see what's going in the market, what's going on. You go there. The first thing that you should go to is to the desk. This is going to give you the brief, the daily brief that I pull out every single morning. You are going to be able to read the most important aspects of the market for that day and the day before, what happened the day before, and what are the considerations for today. You're going to get also the most talk about or search for tickers on CoinGecko. Bunk. I missed that one. What's going on with Bunk? Let's do some TA session here. Let's see, Bunk is certainly uh, at a good buy level. Well, maybe a little bit lower. Well, you get this week right here. So probably if it goes back down there, it would be such a buy. But anyway, uh-huh. So sorry, I'm drifting a little bit. So after you read the brief, then you have this little thing that is telling you the atmosphere of the market as a global thing. Like if it's, you see right now, it's showing you short flow because Bitcoin is correcting a little bit. And the context is neutral. Within that neutrality, there's a tipping, and the other end is tipping to the shorts. Then you have the command center. The command center is going to tell you which things to watch for, what are the most important things right now. It's going to tell you two active setups, approaching target, manage winner with discipline. So is a rate for the tool in particular, how many active positions the app has right now, the quality of it all of them, the regimen, BTC country neutral is short tilt, and the life cycle for one of them. For example, for a AMI, it was invalidated 2 days ago. And then you have the concierge. The concierge is going to tell you basically like a morning read of the specific cards or that are wired to the ecosystem, including total 2, total 3 coin, so you can read on a brief moment what's going on with the market. It's going to tell you also your safe list. If you have a list of safe coins here, it's going to tell you everything about them right now. Then you have the alert center. The alert center, it tells you it's just that the alert center is going to 6 priorities needs attention before the rest of the tape. So it's going to tell you exactly why. Link, for example, is close to an invalidation. So that means there's some risk, and it's going to tell you once you open that, it's going to tell you what are the implications of that, why the risk is happening. There's a long flush going on, and it's going to tell you about the lack of schematics, what it is, the signals that it has, and and the context within everything that you're reading about that card. And then you're going to have another set of alerts of things that you should act right now. Then which ones are at risk, what you should be watching soon, and the entire context. This alert system is also going to tell you which cards are very close to firing a bullish or a bearish signal. These are also HBAR, Fed right now. They're 99% almost completed to one of the tools, Ishi and Phoenix, for example. So that's another thing to look at. Once you look at the whole command center and the desk in the morning, then you can go and have fun in the app. You can start analyzing the heat maps, the liquidity maps. You can start going coin by coin. You can go to your shade list. You can go to the ticker Intel, to the Kairos, which is the time engine for the app. For example, if you go to Bitcoin USDT right there, you're going to get important dates, windows, important levels. All of this is going to be based on math, waves and particles. Kairos is the entire time engine of the app, and it's going to tell you the next important dates right there. So this is one of the most important tools of the app, and obviously just for the reason that almost no one has this, but it's right there for you to analyze, study, observe, and all of that. So I think that's the way I use it. That's one way. I mean, I talked to a couple people on the academy, and they all have different ways to look at the data and the apps and the app and stuff like that. But probably what I recommend is just gonna take a couple minutes. I mean, you're gonna have a really good market pulse and understanding of what's going on with the market. So, are the levels on cars mapped with the corresponding degrees? Some of them are, because you might be able to plot that back for the original source. For example, if it's GAN, but the engine is not only based on that. Like I said, the engine was built using 4 different frameworks for calculation of time, including GAN, waves and particles, geometry. So what you see there on the dates is just a confluence on all of those things. So it's a mix of the things some people know, and then some proprietary formulas from waves and particles. So some of them um, might correspond to the degrees that they're talking about, but others won't. So it depends on when the date is coming from. But you will get labels. For example, if you go again, let's go there. And let's go to Kairos here. Say we're gonna analyze Solana. And you will see there, for example, Sunday, June 14th, you can see that is a 270-day cardinal from the major highs. But there's also some information about the vortex math there. And then you have other, like I recently saw Link, I believe it was. So if you go to Link, it's a T. Yeah. You see there's here on June 5th, it says window and medium. That's window with a little star, cute purple star. What that means is that there's a confluence about all of the frameworks for the app for that particular date for Link. So that's important too. That's some of the information that probably you can get from it. Any other questions? It's just to be pretty quiet today. If you know, I'm gonna go. Okay. Yes. Oh, actually, now that you ask about Kairos, someone told me today. One of the members said to me, "Yeah, because in August 4th we're gonna have a major low." Because and I asked him like, "Where did you get that?" And he said, "It says in the app, major low." And I was like, "That's not what the day represents. That major low or major high, what it means is the origin of this date. So this date, Tuesday, August 4th, was calculated using the major low that happened in February. The same with this one. This major high, this July 2nd uh, date, was calculated by using the last known major high, which happened in probably October, November, whatever, whenever it was. But that's what that means. It does not mean that on August 4th, we're going to have a major low, or on July 2nd, we're going to have a major high. It's just the origin of the method used to calculate the date. Yes. Anything else? Humans want to know about it? No. I just ask the Discord, but there's no more questions. That's good to know. Yeah, that's good to know because it might be a little bit confusing. Might even have to remove that, but I just wanted to have it there as a context because I think it's important. So yes, I think that's good for now. Probably going to. Oh, today's May 26th. The report for June is coming out on this next Friday. So you can see here. Where is it? You can see here. This is May. Yeah, this is May. So, and this is not loading. Cute. It's broken. Oh, there you go. So yeah, the new report is gonna come out in Friday, this next Friday. So stay tuned for that. That's gonna be a really cool one. It's a year because the first one was in June last year. So I'm excited about that. So you're gonna be able to. I'm gonna share the link on my Twitter probably on Friday, but if you go to ikagi.io/monthly, you're gonna be able to get it from there. So that's one in it. Oh, and in terms of the app, I think that's already there. in case you haven't seen it yet, but let me double check that information. I'm working on the update for the other memberships. It's just like I really need to take my time with the with the with the different memberships, especially with the stock aspect of it. But the desk for stocks basically is going to be exactly the same as you just saw for crypto, but for stocks, it's going to come out soon. My guess is probably it will be in a month for now. So just want to remind you guys, there's a special promotion right now. It's the family members. It's going to last until August. If you join right now, the app is going to be 79 a month until then. After that introductory period, then the membership for crypto is going to go up to in a month. So just be aware of that. So, I mean, you can cancel the subscription anytime. Let's say you go in right now, you enjoy the month, try to see if you made some good trades during the month with the app. If you don't like it, then you unsubscribe. You can no strings attached. But yeah, probably it's gonna be. I'm gonna two more subscriptions are coming. One for stocks only because I know a lot of traders don't care about crypto at all. They just want to trade stocks. So that's why I'm building that in the same capacity and expansion as the crypto one because we're gonna have like what 1, 2, 3, 4 yeah 3 memberships. One for crypto, one for stocks, and another one that combines both. Um, so that's coming also. So let me see. I guess we are all good. So I'm gonna say goodbye. Remember, guys, please subscribe to the channel. I'm just gonna do more market updates. Probably this week I have another video on technical analysis to share my ideas on Bitcoin, what's going on from the waves and particles view and the academy. You can follow the app on QUMO app on X. You will be able to find there all of the updates on the things that we're building, the cards, all of the new ideas, the new tools, and everything that we're doing with it. You can also follow me at CryptoSys, as you know, and you can subscribe here on the channel so you don't miss any other video in the future. Monkey, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Take care. Love you all. Happy trading. Don't get wrecked. Get ready for the bulls. They're coming.